I want to spend a little bit of time just talking about sitemaps, what they are and who they're for. Firstly, a sitemap is basically a list of all the web pages on your site. To be more precise, it's usually the most important pages on your site. But which are the most important pages on your site? For me, the most important pages are the pages that help make me money. The pages that aren't important to me are things like contact pages, privacy pages, terms and disclaimers. They might be really important for the site and you might have to have them for your site to protect you, but in terms of making you money and in terms of telling people that these pages are there, those ones aren't as important as those ones that make you money. When you think of the sitemap as a list of URLs, you start to think about, well, what is the purpose of the sitemap? Who is going to use that list of URLs? And it used to be that we would create sitemaps for visitors and we would nicely format them with links and a little description of pages and so on. But that's largely been replaced by high quality navigation. If you've got good quality navigation on your site, you don't need a sitemap for visitors. So the primary purpose of sitemaps today is for the search engines. The easiest way to make a sitemap on a WordPress site is by using a plugin, and I'm going to show you how to use the Yoast SEO plugin to configure your sitemap. But let me show you what one of the sitemaps looks like. This is my sitemap homepage. There we go. There's the domain name / sitemap_index.xml. XML is a programming language, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. But the sitemap that the Yoast SEO plugin creates is actually a list of individual sitemaps. So we have a sitemap for posts, a sitemap for pages, one for categories, one for tags, and one for authors. Let's click on the post sitemap, and this will load the sitemap of posts. If I look at the page source of this, this is the actual XML that creates the sitemap. So you can see it's not there for human visitors. This is something that's been designed for computers. The XML creates these records of URLs. So it tells you the location, LOC, of the URL, and it says when it was last modified, the date and the time. Here's the next location, date and time last modified. So the XML sitemap is a convenient way to represent the information about URLs on your site, and it's a standard that is used, and Google understands how to use it, and Google can go in and it can check and it can say, oh look, this record here, this URL was last updated later than the version that we've got. So we know we've got to go back there, we know we've got to spider it again and include the updated version in the index. So really today the whole purpose of sitemaps is to help search engines find those important URLs on your site. By giving Google a sitemap, you're giving it a list of all the URLs on your site that you want Google to know about. You want Google to index, you want Google to include in the search engines, and you want Google to rank. But here's the thing, if the sitemap is only the important URLs, then look, for me, things like the author sitemap is not important because the author sitemap just links to the posts and all the posts are included in the post sitemap. So I don't really need the author sitemap there. You might not want the tag sitemap, or you might not want the category sitemap, depending on how you use categories and tags. But one of the sitemaps that I don't want as well is pages, because on the particular sites that I build, the pages are the legal information. They're the things that I don't want indexed. So this sitemap is not that good for my purposes. And in the next video, we're going to have a look at Yoast SEO, how it creates this sitemap and how you can modify this sitemap to only include the pages and posts that you want included.